Hey everyone, no second to pop in here. Come on in. Welcome everyone. I have my cozy blankie. Like it's just what a switch in weather, right? Crazy. Hope you're all staying warm and cozy. All right, I'm going to get started. Welcome everyone. My name is Sarah Stutzman. I'm a brand partner with Young Living. These are our Monday night calls. We talk about wellness. We talk about various modalities of just keeping our bodies healthy. So that could be incorporating oils, it's diet, nutrition, lifestyle things, making sure we're getting enough fresh air, sunlight, good nutrients through our food, good relationships, all the things. So oils are just one of those things that we like to incorporate into our protocol, right? And so tonight we'll be talking about 5 ways. I'll probably give you a bonus. 5 ways to detox and cleanse the lungs. When we think about cleansing, the lungs are probably not one of the things we think of. But in doing some research, fall and spring are a great time to do cleanses. And typically in fall, we want to focus on the lungs and on the large intestines. And so those areas, when we let go and we release things and we cleanse those areas, it allows for new energy, new life, new creativity to come through. And I like to think of the analogy of like when we look at nature, when we look at creation, God created all the seasons, right? And for some of us living in various parts of the country, right? If you're like Arizona, I'm sure you still have my dog. She's gonna bust her way through. Let's see. Nope. It's not the kids, it's the dog. But even if you're in warmer climates, there is still a change in seasons, right? It gets cooler, there's rainier seasons. And so I want you to think about the season where you're at. And for most of us, we're here in Pennsylvania. 1 second. Thank you, Hannah. Brooke just went outside, and when that's my husband, and when she's not like near him, she gets a little anxious. She's 10, but she has to be like with him all the time. Anyway, so when we think of our bodies, I want you to think about the seasons as the seasons change, right? We're here in Pennsylvania and we are in fall. The leaves don't hold on to their leaves, or the trees don't hold on to their leaves and say, no, I want to hold on to this, right? They let go, they release, and this period of cleansing, right? This breakdown happens in nature. Think about when you walk in the woods and you can smell the leaves breaking down, right? They break down, they compost, and they bring new life then the next season. And so think about that in our own bodies. And so our lungs can be a great example of that breakdown. And then we need nutrients to restore. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can cleanse your lungs, okay? And our lungs actually hold grief. And I've been thinking a lot about this in the last couple of days, but the last couple of years, 2020, 2021, we're just coming out of this period of a lot of trauma, whether you haven't recognized it yet. We have come through this season of trauma, right? Where everything we knew as normal was just flipped upside down. Everyone's like, can we go back the way things were? Can we go back? We're never going to go back, right? And so we have to be able to grieve that and release it and then be able to allow new life to come, right? And so our lungs also hold grief. And so maybe you're grieving in other ways, but I feel like that was a good example of like just going through those last couple of years, because relationships may have changed, the way you see yourself, because I don't know, I feel like most people that I talk to, it's like, oh, I've gained 20 pounds from all of this stress eating, not moving enough, right? And going back to old patterns. So just something else to think about when we're thinking about cleansing our lungs, cleansing emotions too. So we're going to start off because we don't have a whole lot of time, but if there's anything you want me to dive deeper into, if you have questions, I'll reserve that till the end. But when we think about detoxing and cleansing the lungs, it's like, how do we even do that? Well, a lot of times in the fall, we'll get like a cold or something. And I like to think about that. I like to think of that as an upgrade to our system. So anytime you get an illness, think about that as an upgrade because you're cleansing. So I know my mom's on here. She asks, where does snot come from? Where does mucus come from? Like we ask those questions because we've all been sick, right? And it's just like in our head and we're stuffy and it just doesn't ever seem to like leave. Like, how do we move that along? Well, mucus is a natural thing in our body. We have mucosal membranes all over our body, and they are very, very important in our nasal passageways, in our intestinal linings, and our body is creating mucus, not in overabundance, but to keep pathogens out. And so when we are sick, our body creates more mucus. Think about when you're coughing, you're blowing your nose, that's to get those pathogens out. But I like to think about it as an upgrade too, because we're cleansing, moving everything out and renewing those nasal passageways and the lungs as well. So think about it in a different light, think about it in a different way. So including a healthy diet, this goes along with everything that we talk about, right? But here, an anti-inflammatory diet. So, staying away from seed oils. Those could be hydrogenated oils, canola oil, vegetable oil. Those are very inflammatory. Instead, sticking with olive oil, lard, butter. Now, a lot of people will say, well, lard and butter, that's, very inflammatory. No, that's a very ancestral diet. And those are very true to nature and how God created, food for us to consume. And so our body actually resonates with those foods very well. Antioxidants, making sure you're getting enough water intake. I'm going to come back to antioxidants in just a second, but making sure you're consuming enough water. And not necessarily just chugging water, because that's just going to flood your cells, and it's actually going to flood minerals out of your cells. Yes, Denise, avocado oil. Yeah, absolutely. So anytime I'm baking, I will use avocado oil instead of canola oil when it calls for canola or vegetable, because olive oil is really heavy and like a baked good, but avocado is great, or coconut oil too. That just means you have to like heat it though, and that, right? But yeah, so water. So consuming things that, making sure you're getting enough fruit, because fruit has the fiber and the water in it. So it's not just, and I think we think like we have to be consuming so much water, but as long as you're consuming foods that are full of water, and this is easier in the summertime, like watermelon, cantaloupe, peaches, those things are really have a lot of water in them. So in the wintertime, it's a little bit harder. That's why I like to mix my Ningxia Red with water, because then I'm getting the fiber, right? And I'm getting my water as well. So it's not just water, you're getting the nutrients with it. And you're getting antioxidants as well. Antioxidants are like the Pac-Man. They gobble up the free radicals in your body, and then they help it eliminates that through our stool, our sweat, and our urine. So yeah, and fish oil in your diet. Fish oil is important, and we use fermented cod liver oil from Green Pastures. It's just one. I know Young Living has one. I prefer Green Pastures because it has never been heated. It's never been adulterated. It is very nutrient dense. And fish oil, the purpose behind fish oil is it helps coat all those mucosal membranes. It keeps things slippy inside your system. All right. And so including that, plus it helps, distribute all of our important vitamins and minerals to the places they need to be, all those fat soluble minerals and vitamins. All right. Second, I said we're going to do 5, right? Keep me on track here. I think maybe I'll go over 5, but air quality. I'm not going to touch too much on this. Sarah Paul's going to be talking about air quality and the things that are lurking in our home that could hinder our respiratory system. But air quality, it is said that our home is more pollutant than outside of our home, right? Because we're, especially now, I just closed all the windows in my house. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I had windows open. I actually have my bedroom window just cracked just a little bit. I know at my mom's house, I'll go over and she has the kitchen window. She always has it cracked just a little bit just to get that fresh air flowing through the house. It's not enough to, make the house super cold, but it gives that fresh air flow because Denise, 5 to 7 times dirtier and you clean homes. So, right? That air quality, it's constantly circulating. And Sarah's going to probably talk about this next week because that is what her husband, does. He puts in air circulation systems, among other things. But, my goodness, when we have everything closed and then you have if you have plugins, right? If you have, your dryer going, mold, fungi, the mycotoxins, all of those things. If you're in an older home, even a newer home these days, you'll find mold spores. And so making sure your air quality is better. So an air filter system, diffusing your oils like thieves and purification, things that are going to clean the air and help bring life, those molecules that are going to be in the air that you're going to breathe in, that are going to help combat, whatever else you're breathing in, is really important. So those are more lifestyle principles rather than how to actually detox. And of course, if you smoke, think about that too. Or if you're around secondhand smoke. So those are lifestyle principles that you want to eliminate in your life. So here's a really cool fact. Our body is constantly renewing and constantly, we get a new body every 7 years. Every organ, every body system renews itself at a different speed. So the lungs, the alveoli or the air sacs, needed for the exchange of oxygen and gases, those are deep within our lungs. They have a steady progress of regeneration, and that takes about a year. So our cells are turning over, and it's important. Our cells, when they replicate, they need essential minerals. I believe it's 26 essential minerals. My husband was we were just talking about this. I should find that fact. But the basis of cell regeneration is making sure we have enough minerals in our diet and vitamins. And so that's where nutrition really comes into play. And so the outer layer of our lungs, the lung surface, renews every 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. So when we think about detoxing, it's just helping our body to eliminate, right? And renew itself. So that breakdown, just like in nature, breakdown, and then restoration, that renewal. And that restoration and renewal, just like in nature, when a tree, like a maple tree, when it renews itself, it has to have essential minerals, right, from the earth to, renew its bark, create new leaves. And so the same thing in our body. All right. We are so intricately created, our body systems, but we're intricately created, within nature too. So much of nature emulates, our body systems. And that's because our creator created both, all of it, right? We are part of creation. And so here are some things that you can do to help that along. Exercise, right? Yes, Denise, mineral essence. Good point. Mineral essence in your ningxia every single day, every single day. Apple cider vinegar in your diet as well, in your ningxia red, and sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme helps create collagen, it helps create glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. When I talk about antioxidants in a little bit, antioxidants, like I said, just help gobble up those free radicals. Yeah, it's not tasty, Denise, but I think it tastes good I'm so used to it in my ningxia red. I add so many things that make it taste good, and now I crave it. So I don't know. But okay, so exercise. And here's why exercise is important. Not just because of all the other benefits, it brings to our body, but because it helps when we're taking those deep breaths, and we're really breathing in heavy. It strengthens the diaphragm, and the diaphragm then helps we're inhaling real deep, and then we're exhaling, and that diaphragm is getting really strengthened. And then through that, it's releasing those deep-seated toxins within our lungs, okay? Or within the rest of our body system, right? So the lungs, right? We're pumping all the blood through our lungs. The blood brings all the oxygen to our lungs, the lung brings the oxygen to our blood, and that circulates through our whole body, right? And so when we're exerting physical force, right? Heavy exercise, getting some deep breathing in, like even if you don't run or do any heavy cardio, but maybe you really walk fast for a little bit and then take a break. So you're getting that the deep breathing in, and you're strengthening that diaphragm too, to push out those toxins. Something else you can do with that, so a second thing to help cleanse the lungs is breathing exercises. And I feel like we touch on these principles a lot because they are just lifestyle principles that we just need to be doing, and incorporating. Maybe you choose one of these things and focus on that. And then when you feel like you got that, then focus on another thing. But breathing exercises like belly breathing, where you are just, if you're not familiar, you breathe in and you breathe real deep, but you let your belly rise. Okay. Again, that's working the diaphragm. And within that, you can inhale an oil. So frankincense is really good for the lungs, and that's actually free this month when you place a qualifying order. And I know in the month of November, folks are going to be purchasing Christmas gifts. They're going to be stocking up on wellness products. And so it's going to be really easy to get that qualifying order and get your free frankincense. So breathing in frankincense, and it's really also very anti-inflammatory as well. Copaiba. I know, Denise, you love Copaiba. Copaiba is a really good one to breathe in too, because again, it calms the lungs. Okay. And just helps any inflammation response in the lungs. So you can breathe those in while you're doing some belly breathing. Talking about breathing, another thing that you can use is the fume. I'm going to show you guys the fume. This is, my little stick. Here we go. This is made in Canada, and there may be other versions of this now. Let me see. Do you guys have a fume? Tell me if you have a fume. No. Okay. It's a little insert, right, that you can put your oils on. So I just put copaiba and frankincense on this one today. And you stick it in here. You can do RC, you can do eucalyptus, raven, if you need, to open your lungs up. You tap it in, and then you breathe it like a cigarette. Hold it in, you're smoking your oils. It's pretty cool. So you can do belly breathing with this, like breathing it in and let your belly go out, hold it in, and then release. Do that maybe, 2 or 3 times a day. Some people, and I'm going to put that in the chat. It's FUM. And you can just go to their website and order. I think it's like maybe $27, right? It's a wooden I think it's maple carved wooden fume stick. Some people that struggle with smoking or giving up smoking, or that oral fixation of like eating all the time and snacking. Some people just need to like keep this with them and just like a pipe, like it's just like that oral fixation. All right. So it helps with bad habits of like always snacking or smoking or chewing fingernails. Think about those things. But it also helps with your lungs, right? And cleansing the lungs. Castor oil packs. Maybe you've heard of castor oil packs for the liver, but castor oil packs can be used all over the body. Now, I get mine from Queen of Thrones. Let me write that down here. And I have a coupon. $10 off. Or is it 10% off? I'll have to send that to you guys. Queen of Thrones. But here's the thing. Castor oil is very detoxifying. It comes from the castor bean plant. My mom growing up, she would always be like, don't eat the castor bean seeds. They're poisonous. And they're toxic if you eat them. But when you break them down and you draw out their oil, the oil is very purifying and it actually pulls toxins from our body. Castor oil, I usually make like a lash lengthening serum for my eyelashes with castor oil. It's very regenerative, and you can use this on your skin anywhere. So Queen of Thrones, you can get these castor oil packs. They have ribbons on them that you can tie to your body. And this is important. Now, Dr. Marisol, she recommends you put your castor oil right here on this felt pad. But the thing with castor oil packs is they're pulling toxins. So you should be changing them every like 2 times you use them, every 2 to 3 times. And these are not cheap. All right. So what I do is I get wool flannel from the health food store or Amazon. It looks like this. And I cut it into pieces. And I put my castor oil, I just take it and, right? And I squirt it on that piece of flannel, and then I'll lay it over my body, that any place I want to cleanse. So this is a really big one. She even has little ones to cleanse your thyroid that you can put right over your thyroid and help regenerate and bring balance to the thyroid. So you can put it right over your lungs, especially if you are having a hard time breathing, or if it's just something you want to do in the fall, that you just do a lung cleanse, and you do this maybe once a week or twice a week in the fall. A lot of people will put that over their liver or even the breast area if you have fibrocystic breasts, or over the ovaries if you have like a tender ovary or cysts in your ovary or uterus area. You can use castor oil packs. But yeah, castor oil packs are amazing. Does anyone use them? You can comment or type if you've used them before. But this is a new way to use your castor oil pack over your lungs to just help regenerate and pull out any toxins, and to do that cleanse for your lungs. Right? And your bonus. Oh, wait, I didn't talk about antioxidants. I did a little bit, but Ningxia Red, made from the Ningxia wolfberry, is very high in antioxidants. It's the highest antioxidant fruit. If you're familiar with the goji berry, it's the cousin to the goji berry. But the Ningxia Red is like a puree, so it's not a juice, so it's not going to spike your insulin. It actually stabilizes your blood sugars, and it helps bring oxygen to your lungs, or bring oxygen to your cells. And yeah, so getting those antioxidants in your diet helps clean out the toxins and helps your system do what it's supposed to be. You can't just, and I was just listening to this on a health podcast today, you can't just pee out toxins. Oh, I ate that, or oh, I breathed that in, or, I have this really bad habit of XYZ, right? I'll just pee it out. It doesn't work that way. Your body has to, utilizes ATP in the cells. So you need the energy there. It uses, oh, I wrote it down. It was really good too. I don't have my note here. But your liver, it has to synthesize all those toxins. So it's not just like, I'll pee it out. You need the nutrients to break down those toxins. All right. And so when we can do this to help our body heal, to cleanse and heal, it's just working with our body and being in tune with it. So the last one here is, oh, and antioxidants, green tea. If you sip on green tea once a day, in the afternoon instead of a cup of coffee, that would be something else that you can incorporate. Have your ningxia red in the morning, green tea in the afternoon, especially now that it's cooler out. And then your bonus, steam baths. I don't know about you guys, but I do not love baths. I know some people absolutely love taking a bath. I find that it's like, I don't know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, I just have, just sitting for me is like, I can't sit. And then I have to take a shower afterwards. But there is a point to taking baths. Like, get it really, really, really hot. Mix a cup of Epsom salts and a half a cup of bentonite clay or pascalite clay. They're in the same family. Bentonite is a little bit easier to get. Pascalite is something that's mined. I think we get that from Utah. There's a company that we get a pascalite clay from, a family-owned company. Mix that together. The clay is going to help draw toxins. So is Epsom salts, and it's also going to give your body minerals as well, magnesium. Mix in, one of your favorite essential oils. I like, Panaway or wintergreen, sometimes lavender. Cypress is awesome because it helps with circulation. And then just soak for 15 minutes, as hot as you can get it. It's, unless you can afford a sauna, in your home, a steam bath is going to help. It's going to emulate that. It's going to, help you sweat your toxins out. So that's going to help with lung health as well. All right. Plus you're breathing in all those great essential oils, breathing them out, bringing in that oxygen, releasing that carbon dioxide. Okay. Any questions? Denise, you say you take a shower first, so you're clean. Yeah, I know that is the other thing. Like, oh, I'm sitting in my dirty water, right? Yeah, so take a shower first and then just sit and relax, okay? You did a sauna. It's like a dream to have a sauna. That's awesome that your chiropractor has a sauna. I know at the gym they have them, but I get weirded out. Like, are they clean? I don't know, right? And then you're breathing in other people's like sweat and toxins. Like, I don't know. I think that a chiropractor might be a little bit better because it's like not sweaty gym people, right? Okay. Any questions? You can unmute yourself if you want to. But just be mindful. I mean, cleansing the lungs is a little bit different than, doing an intestinal cleanse, because, it's just being more mindful of your breathing, of making sure you have that healthy diet of minerals and vitamins and nourishing foods for that restoration, the belly breathing, the steam baths. It's a little bit more intentional rather than drinking, and drinking fiber and taking all kinds of vitamins to move things along in the colon, right? So yeah. If there's no questions. Oh, Denise, you have one.
Okay, so in the morning, I always have a lot of mucus, and I didn't always have this, but I'd say like in the last 6 months or so, like every morning, like I'm fine later, but in the morning I have this, like, I feel like I have to hocker. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, hocker.
It's gross. It's a gross word, and the whole thing's gross, and it almost makes me throw up, but I know I got to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
But is there something more specific? I know you touched on it, but that can, because it's like your mom was saying, where does all this mucus come from?
And you know, when we're sleeping, and resting, our body is repairing and healing. And so you may be getting, your body's saying, wow, we need to produce a little bit more mucus here to get XYZ out. And so maybe thinking about your diet and what are you eating? Sometimes things could, you know, sometimes we could be eating the healthiest things we think are healthy for us, right? You know, I know even strawberries could be sensitive to people. And so thinking about what you're consuming that could be causing more mucus than normal. You said within the 6 months. So if you can think back, you know, what are some things that you've changed in your diet? Anything different in your home? It just sounds like, you know, for me, that's a signal that your body's creating mucus to get rid of something, right? So it could be a sensitivity to, I don't know, dairy. Even as we age, if we could eat it like, you know, a year ago, maybe this year, it's like your body's going, nah.
I don't really eat dairy. I don't, we use very little dairy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, so, I always say, like, just journal your food that you're consuming, journal, you know, things in your day that maybe you can pinpoint. It's never like an easy fix. It's always
Right.
just in tune and being mindful. Yeah. But I'm sure you use your oils at nighttime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's, in fact, I've been like, and I think it's helped. I have the RC in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I actually put it, like, I use a mesh thing, and I use the Young Living, the body wash that's like the base.
Mm-hmm.
And I double it, and then I add oils, and I'm like, well, why don't I just put a drop of RC on the mesh, you know, when I put my body wash on? And actually that seems to be helping a little. So like my whole body, I just put RC on my whole body.
To be moving it along. And you said in the last 6 months, so you may be just getting that upgrade, right? Your body may just be going through that cycle of cleansing, right? But 6 months seems to be a long time to be.
I know, I never had it before.
Yeah. Enzymes. Try taking detoxine before bed, or digest and cleanse. I know that's a free one this month. Yeah, before bed, to see if maybe like try for like a week to see if you start noticing a difference. Either detoxime or digest and cleanse. Enzymes are really important. As we age, we don't make enough enzymes. And so your body may just be needing some extra enzymes. Yep. Well, I think our time is almost up. If you have any more questions, feel free to message me. And I will get that coupon code out to you guys for castor oil packs, probably in the Facebook group. How about that? Or in the Facebook event. Next week, Sarah Paul's going to be joining us. She's going to be talking about air quality in the home and what's lingering in the home. And then after that, the last week is our brand partner call. All right. You guys have a beautiful rest of your week. Thanks so much for joining us on this Monday night. Take care. Bye.